Hi. What do you say when someone says to you that because you're bisexual, you're going to leave them for a man? That is what we're going to be talking about today in this video, sponsored by my t-shirts on Amazon. There's a link to them in the description below, but I'll get to that at the end of the video. Right now, let's talk about this very, very difficult topic. And you guys know me. I can often suggest very confrontational responses to things. And I think they're legitimate. I think they're legitimate responses. In this case, though, I think it's a little different because, you know, when someone says bisexuality is a phase, or if someone says bisexuals are cheaters, those are just straight up misconceptions and power plays and all that stuff. The idea that a bisexual will leave their partner for someone of a different gender, I think is sadly based in reality. Not in the sense that you as a bisexual will leave your partner for someone of a different gender, but in the sense that bisexuality is complex and bisexuals exist on every point of the bisexual spectrum. That means that there are bisexuals who have a strong preference towards people of the same gender. There are bisexuals who have a preference to people of the opposite gender. And honestly, the vast majority of people in the bisexual spectrum have a preference to someone of the opposite gender. That's just evolution, and that's just reality, and we can't deny reality just because it's inconvenient for us. But that's not even it. There's even more. Because, you know, there's the idea that bisexuals are just trying things out. And, you know, once they're done experimenting, they're going to leave their partner for the preferred gender. Like, let's say a bi-curious woman experimenting with women and then leaving the woman for a guy. Like, these are real things. And we can't deny reality because, you know what? How are any of us supposed to figure out what we desire if we don't dip our toe in the other pool? Like, how is a woman supposed to really get and understand that they like women if they don't, at one point in their journey, experiment with being with a woman? And if a woman experiments and figures out that they have a preference towards guys, they're going to leave that person for a guy. I mean, it might not be the reason for, like, the stated reason for leaving, but, you know, if they then only date guys from then point out, the lesbian knows what the deal is. So to deny the reality of all of this is not helpful to anyone. And you might be able to shut, let's say, a lesbian down if they were to say that to you by saying, hey, it's the same thing as a lesbian leaving you for another lesbian. And that might get them to stop talking, but that doesn't get them to stop believing what they're believing, because the reality is that what they're insecure about is you leaving their fun bits for other fun bits, because you really need those other fun bits. And no matter what that lesbian does, she can't really have those fun bits. So that's a really insecure thing. So what do? How do you possibly bridge this divide of actual reality? I think there's an answer to this, and I think it lies in the way people suggest we kind of bridge the divide, the political divide. Because right now in America and in other places around the world, there are people who are hunkered down in their positions, politically speaking. Like, they have what they believe and they're clenched, their heart is clenched on that. And they're just telling the other side, this is what they should do. This is what should be happening and all that stuff. And that's not working. That's not working in any sense. And both sides are doing it. And what the studies show, that the way that you can get someone to hear your opinion, to actually, you know, perhaps come over to your side, is by starting out with acknowledging what they're saying. And not just acknowledging that what they're saying, but to help them to understand that you truly get it. If you can do that, and with politics, it's usually like you listen to them, you let them talk, and you let them fully express what they feel. And then you mirror back, like when they say, oh, and that's bad, you can say, yeah, that is bad. And by doing those things, you help them to understand that you get it. You generally get their opinion, not just like, you're not just waiting for yourself to talk, that you actually get it. And then once they have done that, studies show that a person kind of relaxes. And a person is no longer just trying to defend their opinion because they've expressed it. And at that point, they become open to hearing other opinions. That works with politics, talking about politics, but that technique can also work in this particular situation. Because the idea that bisexuals leave their partners for another gender is real. And if a person says to you that, they're afraid that you as a bisexual will leave them for another gender, you have to start out by acknowledging that they're not completely crazy for believing something like that. You can start out by saying, I understand why you're saying that. Bisexuality is a spectrum, and there are people who have a strong preference towards the same gender and a lot of people who have a strong preference towards another gender. And you having that fear fits within that because you don't know me completely. And that's how you acknowledge first that, that you understand their fear. You understand what they're saying. Then you can start talking less about the generalities and specifically about you. And that's when you can say, if you have a preference towards someone of the same gender, and this person's, of the same gender, that's when you can say, well, even though there's a spectrum that exists, I have a strong preference towards women. I identify as bisexual because it's important to me, but my preference is strongly towards women. Or if you're like right down the center sort of bisexual, you can say that. You can say, there are people who have strong preference with that. But for me, it genuinely is about the person. And if something didn't work out between us, it would be because of the person, not because of the genitals or like the, stereotypical characteristics of another gender. So the steps are to first acknowledge that they're not crazy. Let them know that you understand their fear, and then talk specifically about you and why you aren't just a generality, why you are specifically who you are, and why they should not be afraid to date you. I hope that was helpful because this specifically is a very complex topic. Let me know what you thought about my technique in the description below. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, you can check out my bisexual t-shirts on Amazon. This is still my most popular t-shirt. It's amazing. This is really quite the hit. And it comes in short sleeve, it comes in long sleeve, it comes in sweatshirts. But I also do have some other really cool designs that is worth checking out. And you can find the link in the description below, as well as a link to my lapel pins and my bisexual romances, which are fun and sexy and really worth the 99 cents it costs to check them out. So please do check them out. And also, if you'd like, you can give this video a thumbs up and you can subscribe. I do many videos on bisexual topic. I try to do them every Sunday, but if you'd like to know when a new video comes out, you can click on the subscribe button, then click on the bell. And by doing that, you'll be telling YouTube that you'd like to know when a new video comes out. Until next video, stay cooler, my bisexual friends. Stay cooler. Bye.